And good morning, everybody. Saturday, May 16th. Happy Saturday. Beautiful day. Looking outside and weather. We're here to talk sports. We've got sports coming back to KTC Broadcasting, coming back to the world. NASCAR returns on WCSL 1590 AM and 92.3 FM tomorrow from Darlington. Kevin Hastings along with Hunter Yancey, Tom Cinefani, and Texas Terry Reinhardt today. Not Darlington Terry Reinhardt. Terry's video isn't working. We're going to get it figured out in a minute, and we're going to get going. Hunter, just talk for a sec. Can you just talk?
Yeah, good morning, everybody.
You're on Outcome
We appreciate that you guys are tuning in today to listen to us. Terry and Tom, you guys have a good week this week?
Yeah, I had a pretty good week, Hunter. Just getting my schoolwork done, and they're going to wrap up school by the 28th.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to end a little bit early. So we're trying to make those final preparations, and everybody's trying to guess what we're going to do at school next year, and it's all speculation.
Right.
Kids are supposed to come back. In case anybody's out there, the kids will come back early next year. The 10th, teachers come back the 17th. The kids are coming back. That's Lincoln County's schedule, though. We're basically, Cleveland County's going to Lincoln County.
Let's say all the teachers will be back before then. The early entry will be the 10th, and the rest of the students will be the 17th.
Right.
Because you said the kids are coming back the 10th and teachers coming back the 17th.
I said it backwards. I'm sorry. Terry. It's early. The teachers will be back the 10th, the students the 17th. Thank you, Terry. Thank you for correcting. Everybody's wondering why the kid's going to be there for a week with no teachers. They're going to run the place. They could probably do it better than we do.
They probably set up all the day of discipline and everything as they get it.
So let me say that one more time. Teachers back the 10th, students back the 17th. Is that Lincoln County too?
Lincoln County. And see, I mean, if they do it like the governor needs them to do it and some of the other people want, they want like us to come back like on the 3rd. Then you have some of your kids who are like falling behind.
Right.
To come back on the 10th, and then the rest of the kids come back on the 17th.
Okay.
But, as far as Lincoln County, our last day for our students is the 22nd.
Okay.
Coming up. But
y'all started a little earlier than us.
We did.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're ending it before June and then trying to get the building cleaned out, sanitized, which they've been working real hard to do that every day. But
every day.
See, but you have to do that again. What people don't understand is you have locker clean out. You have teachers come clean out their rooms, so you got to re-sanitize. And, it's the custodians are working really hard every single day, and they're going to have the work cut out for them next year, Terry. I mean, I know we've hired an extra couple at Burns. I'm sure that everybody's going to be hiring extra custodial staff. And it's not just to get the staff. You can't get the stuff to clean the hallways with them. And you go anywhere, it's all cleared out. It's ridiculous. I
heard an interview this week with somebody that it was over a cleaning company or disinfectants. They make disinfectants, and he said, look, it's going to be a minute before we can get it to where there's constantly disinfectant available, like every day, of all the weeks. He said, as of right now, just the supply to the demand it's just not meeting it at all.
See, but what irritates you is there's people buying it. They're just buying it and sticking it in the closet.
It back.
I mean, it's kind of silly.
Well, I went into a store the other day, and I'm not giving them a little plug, but Lysol and Microban, and there was one little spray bottle of Microban. No Lysol, no nothing else. I said, well, I might as well get it.
Well, might as well.
Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, you can't get hand sanitizer. None of the stores have hand sanitizer. I mean, it's just, or I've seen this gimmick hand sanitizer for sale at some gas stations and things, but with a handmade label on it, you don't know whether somebody just put water in a bottle and selling it. I mean, it's ridiculous that hoarders out there ruin it for everyone else. They're doing it with the meat now. That's why the ground beef prices have doubled, and it's just it's crazy. But
some places you go to, you can't have a double; you have to have a single.
Yeah.
What?
Well, there was one place I can't remember has the famous beef brisket. They quit selling it. They said the beef price went up so much we can't really make a profit off it right now.
Yeah, it's tough when some of the meat packing factories have temporarily shut down because of this. I know Tyson said that they shut down at least 2 or 3 different plants, and it's tough. I mean, we went to the store the other day, and when we got to the meat section, it was like, I guess nobody's working back there. There ain't no meat.
No.
There's nothing.
Hope you like chicken.
Yeah,
Yes.
I hope you like chicken. I think some pork was there. Either that, or I hope you like beans.
Or fish.
Hope
You
you
get
like
plenty
beans.
of fish.
You can.
You know, we're not a big, I guess unless it's deep fried catfish at, Long Creek or something. A lot of people don't like to eat it.
But you can get all the beer you need. We're
You
the
can.
number one
Oh,
There
yeah.
you go.
in the United States.
There you go.
How about it?
What are you talking about?
North Carolina,
Is number one in,
selling beer, liquor,
oh,
all
really?
that stuff, yes.
Well, our liquor store stayed open because they're an essential business. But then, I was kind of bored, so I figured I'd go to the library, get a book. Library closed. So let me get this straight. I can get drunk in North Carolina. I just can't read a book. What says North Carolina like that? Drunk and illiterate.
Nothing.
It's groceries. It's groceries.
You gotta love it.
I mean, come
You
on.
love to see it. You love to see it.
I mean, I could see like come in the library, get your book, leave. You can't stay in the library, but they shut down the library. You can't even go to the library, but you go to the liquor store.
Mhm.
What's the difference? It's like,
John, I'm pretty sure there's a big difference between
no,
a library and a liquor
no,
store.
I'm not.
Besides
I'm not.
the first two letters,
people,
all right?
people go in there, touch the bottles, put it back. So it's like people go to the library.
Now,
It's the
Hunter,
same.
when I was in Boone, there was a bar called the Library. So Mom called.
I'm going to the library.
What you guys doing tonight? Well, we're going over to the library for a little bit. We'll probably be there all night.
Hey,
Mom didn't know anything about it. Oh,
Here's
we're
the
going to the
truth.
library.
we might pass out in there, Mom.
Yeah.
We're gonna work so hard in there tonight. I might pass out.
Unreal.
Unreal.
Terry, well, good morning, everybody. JP finally made it here. If you were curious, good morning, JP. I don't have the camera on you right now because I don't have. Two of them just went out, Hunter, right before the show, and JP wasn't here, so I've been running up and down the hallway, don't know what's going on. And
If Kevin had one of those little Fitbit things, it'd be blinking everywhere.
It'd be
You're
a-
done. You're done. You're good.
it'd be a funny little
could sit out.
picture it showed, wasn't it?
You could sit down now, sir. You've had your steps.
I'm not done yet. I'm still over here figuring Terry's face on the internet, so
Oh,
everybody
no,
can look
that's
at
all
it. See,
good.
there
Oh,
you go,
man.
everybody.
I'm
There-
proud
see
he
Terry.
finally got me on there.
I'm proud he finally got it. America was on the edge of their seat.
It was. Everybody
That's
was.
flawed.
They just wanted me to talk about Snell should be on the ocean front and
my
not
gosh.
pitching.
Oh my gosh. We're going to get to all that in just a minute. We've got a ton of NASCAR to talk about today, getting ready for this week. We've got 2 Cup races and a Xfinity race this week before our next show on Saturday. And then we also, Terry alluded to, talk about whether or not baseball is coming back. We had our Hunter and I did our Mount Rushmore of our favorite hats the other day. Favorite hats, not just the greatest hats ever, just kind of whatever you really want to. Your top 4 favorite hats. We'll let Tom and Terry chime in on that one. We've got some little NFL news and notes, NBA news and notes, and more to come today. First of all, we're eating breakfast brought to us by Mitchum's Kitchen. Up in Vail, Saturday morning sports talk. You can watch live on Facebook and listen on WCSL 1590 AM, 92.3 FM. And then after the show on podcast, go to our podcast page. You can listen to me and Hunter on Mondays and Wednesdays on the podcast page. We go live 2 o'clock on Facebook as well. And we do kind of the same thing, a little bit here, some things different, no commercials on that. On Mondays and Wednesdays, Tom checks in. Terry's car doesn't come to Gaston County during the week, so we haven't seen him since
not 6 foot apart.
since the shutdown.
Trying to stay my distance.
Hunter, just reach through that screen over there. Just do
Nah,
that.
he wants to be 6 foot apart. We can't really give him 6 feet right now, so I'm gonna give him as much room as he wants.
He might have to cut somebody over there. I guess that's what he's saying, Hunter.
Ah,
Back up. Was that a
I'm
warning?
not gonna mess with it.
Was that a warning? I wouldn't warn someone who's home who grew up in the neighborhood and area of a WWE champion and softball smasher.
Dude, Jesus Christ! Did you see that video? My God, he was killing them things.
Oh, wow.
I mean, and what's-
there's a video going
We
around
probably taught him how to
ESPN from
play.
Braun Strowman.
Well, his
Yeah.
daddy
Tom
taught him how to play.
smashing softballs
All
off the
right,
tee.
his dad taught him how to play. Mr. Schur taught
He
him how to
did.
play.
I got to
So
play
let's-
against him.
Some would
I
say
mean,
he
so
was
okay.
Yeah, Terry. Some would say he was pretty good.
He was okay.
He was okay.
Yeah, I
was
mean,
okay.
he was one of them guys that told you, look, don't worry about it. I'm not hitting up the middle. Okay, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, he may or may not have been a world champion in slow pitch softball.
Sorry.
So, and for Adam, those of you that don't know, that's his real name, but for Braun, his stage name, if he would have put his hips maybe into it a little bit more when he was swinging off that tee, you probably killed the damn thing.
Are you saying you could have hit it harder?
No. I'm not saying that at all. All I'm saying is for that big boy to use probably all upper body strength, he killed that thing. Have you seen the video that went out yesterday?
No.
Major League Baseball. Unless he posted it, Major League Baseball on Twitter. I know that they re-showed the video. I don't know where he was. It didn't look like it was behind Howard's Furniture. I was trying to figure out if I was trying to figure out.
Narrow it down.
I was trying to figure out if he was home, just in the area. But he was just hitting softballs off a tee. And my God, he was teeing them up, man. My word. The last one he hit in the video, the ones early in the video that he's teeing off, they were more line drives, but they were still high. Where if there was a fence, I mean, it was over. It was over regardless. But the last one he hit, he sent that thing to the moon. He skied it, and I was just looking at him in his baseball form. And of course, I'm not a hitting coach, but it was really just all upper body. Now, so if he would have maybe used his lower body just a little bit,
Knocked the cover off the ball.
oh yeah. Regardless whether he was doing that or not.
Are you talking about Rick the Crusher Sure?
Yes.
They've got videos of him on YouTube.
Yes. Crushing.
Yeah, that's all
But
right.
Rick, and there's Braun. It says Braun Strowman's father is the greatest softball player ever.
I'm telling you, man. Howard's Furniture
he
is
was
wet
good.
as
Terry.
He was good.
What about Rusty Bumgarner?
Rusty Bumgarner, Reinhardt. There's a lot of them that you could throw in there. They could hit it, man.
But now, who can play defense? Anybody play
Well,
defense?
that's what I'm saying. I mean, these were guys that.
What about the guys that hit 800 and couldn't and never hit home runs and played shortstop? Are they better than the big giants that just smashed it out of the 300-foot park?
Let me put you in a scenario, and this is how I'm going to do this.
Okay.
When I played for Bass Chapel, we were in a Class C state tournament over in Concord, and these guys come to play for a church team out of Newton. We had to play them.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, guess what? We won. Because they had to keep it inside the park. They could not. Even when they hit line drives, like you was talking about, it went
Tell the
out.
difference in the balls.
You know?
This
And
is
all I was
Dudley
doing was
Thunder
like,
ZN.
well, that's when I was scared.
Triple
Because I'm
SA
pitching,
Stadium
and I'm
ball.
like,
I think these are about
man, these guys
as
are
hard
going to
as
hit
they
up
get. I
the
don't
middle.
know.
They're
I'm
going to
way
light
behind
me
on
up. But, you know,
technology
they
and everything
couldn't.
in slope
I mean,
and
they hit it
softball
out.
right now.
And as Best Chapel, and as I'm sitting here, we beat them, and they even come up to us and congratulated us and told us, look, y'all going to win the tournament. Said, y'all pretty good. But, you know, we ended up finishing second in this tournament, and I'll tell you another scenario that happened. Because after we beat them, these guys was like, you know, this is just out of our league. We cannot play in a Class C. But, hey, these guys asked us to play. We come to play. And, quote, maybe not on church roster or something. But, you know, but they played. So later on, we had to play a Monroe Outreach Center. And we had saw them play before. And they had 3 guys standing over in behind their bench when we played them the first time, and we beat them, put them in the loser's bracket. Well, when we had to play them again, and they had beat that team out of Newton with them guys, that team finished third, and they had a bunch of home run hitters. But when we had to play them, those 3 guys that were sitting right there batted first, second, and fourth. Guess where they hit it?
Over the fence.
They tried to light me up.
Oof.
They even told me when they come to the plate and got in the box, I'm coming up the middle.
That's good sportsmanship.
Yeah, well, don't get me wrong. I mean, you know, there was some I knocked down. Some of them you couldn't. Some of them you just got out of the way.
This, I was gonna say,
I'm going to try to injure the other person.
most of the
in
time,
adult
most of
softball.
the time in a softball league, I know in church softball, if you
This
hit
is
anything
so extremely
up,
important, Tom.
No, I'm just saying if you
No,
hit
you're
any,
not.
if you hit anything
Did I have
up
to
the middle,
smoke this at the pitcher? So
well,
it's
this
such an
was for
important ballgame.
a state championship, you know, and that's what it's over in Concord.
but I know just from when I played church softball, anything that came up the middle was almost fights. It was almost a fight because it's slow pitch and you can put the ball wherever you want it. And you chose to just line drive it right back at the pitcher. I remember a guy, I don't know if he was doing it on purpose because he said he didn't.
I got a rule.
But okay, what's the rule?
If someone hits a line drive up the middle, the next guy, you can pitch fast pitch to him.
Just throw a softball overhand? Because I know
No,
we don't.
underhanded softball fast
Good
pitch.
luck. I was going to say,
Bring
not
the
a lot
heat.
of us practice that. But I know a guy was with us when we were
Why don't
playing
men
one
play
year.
fast pitch softball?
I don't know.
We used to back in 1980, 81.
I mean,
and then it got
these-
switched over to where women
Really?
were playing. Yeah.
These guys get so
Did.
big. These guys get so big where the little guys can't even play. And then let's play some fast pitch and find out what happens.
Yeah.
If you're hitting
It's a whole different
balls,
story.
slow balls, and all that. All right, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that he hit one his first time at the bat up the middle, and the pitcher was just like, okay, and the batter, of course, said, I'm sorry, and just he went on his way up the towards where I think he got a double off of it. It doesn't matter. His second time up the bat, he did the same exact thing. Ooh, that pitcher got so hot and he threw his
now
glove
you're
off.
doing it on purpose.
He said, "Look, man, you trying to kill me right now?" And him and like 3 other infielders walked over towards him on the first base, and I was like, I thought this was church ball.
Yeah.
I didn't think we were all going to get in a fight right now over
if
this.
you ever watch church softball or basketball, it's not.
Trust me.
I know.
Yeah,
It's
trust me.
not. It's really not. It's just the hyper competitive, testosterone boosted guys in the church that want to play and get their competitiveness out.
Well,
But
there's
now
two-
on the bottom end of it, I have been in a Class A tournament, and I got hit off the head. So I know what it feels like. I know what it can do.
Mm-hmm.
I know where it can put you.
Mhm.
You know, and so I mean, you know, when
What
you,
was Howard's? Class A?
Oh yeah, definitely Class A above A.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about when they used to have them. Class A used to be just all the home runs you can hit, or they'd limit it where you could hit.
You know
like-
where Howard's Furniture is in Denver?
Yes.
They got that softball field still
Yeah,
right behind
right
it.
behind it.
Right behind it. When I was little, for Cheryl's Ford Elementary, that's one of the elementary schools like Balls Creek that lead to Bandy's. That's where they would hold practices sometimes for football. Or I know they did that for the 1 year I did it. It was years ago.
Well, I got to play them down there 2 games, and we got beat like 77 to 15, and another 70 some to 20 some.
I mean,
so,
you know, they talk about teams of legend just at the professional level. That's a team of legend right there, just at the 16 and 150 intersection.
my ERA was not good down there.
Was not good.
we used to have that at college too. I mean, back at the front fields at college, we used to have co-ed, and then we'd have all men, all women. It was a good time. It wasn't quite the intensity of these church ball games, which seem to be life and death you talk about, but it was fun to play back in the day.
I was in a church softball league, and it was the same time when that guy was hitting both of those balls right back at the pitcher. And we were not good in the regular season at all. But when the tournament came, something clicked and we ended up winning it. Like I'm telling you, we were dead last in the regular season. And then we just turned it on, and we ended up winning the postseason. And I'm sitting there thinking, this is the greatest David versus the Goliath story I've ever heard, because we were god-awful. I don't know what happened.
And church softball is just like regular softball. If anybody's played slow pitch, it's got different brackets that you can be in. If you're a Class A team, you can hit all the home runs. Class B team, limit to 5, and then when you get to Class C, you have none. You know,
It was Class B because we would. I think it was. I think they might have regulated it to where it was only like 3 or 4 home runs than 5. It was just it was like a little league in Maiden.
The reason I'm saying is because we had a team, and this was industrial, and this was when I was with Dallas Pilla. We had a decent squad, and we was great on defense, and we could hit the lights out of it, but we didn't have many home run hitters. You know what I'm saying? If we did, we'd hit 1 every 2 games or something. But there's another team that was in our league, and they whitewashed us in the league, and when we went to the state tournament, they decided to come to the, guess what, Class C tournament. Well, we beat them in that tournament, and then we won a state. And then when we went back up there, they won, and all we did was looked at them and said, I'll tell you what, you can have this regular season tournament every day.
Because, see, I never knew that there was class systems until it was like my second or third time playing church softball. And I'm telling you, we had this kid on the team where every at-bat could have been a home run if you let him. It was just huge. It would just kill the ball. He hit 2 in the game, and then I heard the chirping from the ump. He said, now that's 2 guys. Don't hit 3 more. That's what he said. He said, look, there's a limit.
Yeah.
Don't hit.
Yeah.
You can only hit
Make
a
sure
few
somebody's
more.
on before the next one's hit.
So let's just make sure you don't get some ex-AA guy down there hitting 9 home runs in a C game.
Well,
Okay,
we
I
took
see.
one guy, and we went to Lowell, and this was in a regional tournament. And great. He played for Howard's Furniture, this guy did. He would come play with us one day. And I had him batting 4th because he wanted to play. And the
Right.
guy even told me from down there, says, don't bring a loaded team down here. And I said, well, look, we've played together all year.
Right.
Didn't tell him there's one extra guy on our team. So when we get down there, he's like, if y'all start toasting it, I'm yanking y'all out of this tournament. I said, well, we can't hit no home runs. He said, I'm just telling you, don't bring a loaded team down here. So we took our guys, and we had this guy. He batted fourth. By the time we got to the third game, Hearst Furniture guy was batting last. He was killing us. He could not get on base.
Because he's so used to just cracking.
Yeah, he's just used to ripping.
Yeah,
Every one of his was going out, And I said, my Lord, dude, I got to have you on defense because he's a heck of a player on defense. And I'm like,
I live right there
So he
at
batted
Howard's
last.
Furniture. I can walk to Howard's Furniture. So that's all I've heard about.
And I will tell you this, that you only spend 24 minutes on church softball.
What
if
about
there's no sports going on?
hey,
I was
Hey, now.
and the camera not
Because
working.
there is no sports
And
going
the camera
on.
not working.
We've got the glory days
Hey.
of church softball.
Well,
for
some
24
of
minutes.
us-
You can't let Terry do anything.
Some of us miss our
Leave him alone for
recreational
a minute,
sports.
and then
I
Terry,
play.
Listen,
now I
Tom,
want to tell you
I play
something.
too. It's fun.
No, I'm going to tell you something. Back and the ever softball player that's listening to us, and they know it as well as I do. If you go back 15, 20 years, softball was everywhere. Every game, every tournament, everything was every weekend.
It seemed like
High
it was
Shoals,
big. It was
Lincoln,
bigger, yeah.
Union. I mean, even up at the Optimus Park, they had the games. Out at Boger City,
Hunter
it was everywhere.
Hunter won't believe it or not, but before the internet, they used to post all the local softball stats in the paper.
They did.
Yep.
Like that was.
I mean, I can believe it.
hey, Calvin Hastings' name, I better say it or
Yeah.
they'll fuss at me, is littered all over the Cherville Eagles record
That's
books.
what I'm saying. I can
As far
go
as base
back.
hits,
It was bigger.
I'm
yeah.
not surprised. I'm
was
not
bigger.
surprised. Small local papers is local news.
Yes.
Why not? They keep up with the local teams. And Tom, some of us like our recreational sports that we wish it had
Yeah,
come
that's
back.
local.
This coronavirus hit
local,
during
Tom.
my church basketball league, so we had to cancel like the
See?
last 4 or 5 games. We were just now
So,
starting to
I
win.
guess if you don't have church basketball, you're just going to have to get drunk and fight somewhere else, Hunter.
Yeah.
Listen. We can't hardly do that now because you just get drunk at home, and that's the sound of an alcoholic. So I'm not gonna do
like
it.
I said, I didn't really get into the leagues, but like in college, it was fun. The intramural softball was fun because, especially the co-ed. Co-ed was fun. You ever play co-ed tournament style softball? That's fun too. So I mean, we had a good time.
Yeah, but the worst thing ever playing those things is when they put a girl pitching.
And then
And then you're a guy, you're not hitting it back up the middle.
No, that'd be stupid if you did.
Yeah.
You'd have that whole team rushing.
That's
you.
exactly
Well,
right.
at
And they
intramurals-
should.
Intramurals at App, we played co-ed, all that stuff. And one of the rules you talk about the pitching was you pitch your own team.
That's not
Yeah.
bad. That's not
No,
a bad
that's
idea.
not. It's not
that
bad.
wasn't bad.
So
Yeah.
If you
I
hit
never
your own
played in
pitcher-
a league
No,
like that though.
But you know what else I played? I played co-ed water polo when I was in college. You ever play?
Tom,
I know,
you would.
Tom,
I did.
that just does not sound kosher at
Tom,
all.
that's
well,
that's
now
the
we're
most-
talking softball. Now we into
I
water
know, Tom.
polo.
I was at least.
Let me tell you about
And
that
y'all
time I used to
Kevin,
play
Kevin,
co-ed water.
Kevin,
Yeah,
I know you
polo.
played.
That's a college
I know
story.
you played. I know you played, Kevin. Don't act
If
like you did.
if they had co-ed water polo at App, you wouldn't get me out of the pool.
Oh, God.
Look, all I'm saying is
We had to
Tom
just set up
took
for
it to
softball
water
and
polo,
Yes.
and all I was gonna say is I
Well,
played in a co-ed
I feel-
How was
kickball.
the
feel
co-ed
like-
synchronized swimming team, Tom, over at
I feel like this has been the Ocho this morning. We're talking about softball and we're co-ed
Where
now
did
and water ball. We're on the Ocho.
Where was you playing intramural water polo?
At college.
Which college?
UNC Charlotte.
UNC Charlotte.
I mean, you had girls, guys, co-ed.
I
mean,
understand how it works. I'm just fascinated the fact just where it was. So I just need to.
I remember-
my son. That's where to go to school. I would say check see if they have intramural water polo team. So
I do remember coming up here a lot of times for church softball and playing Hepzibah with Calvin Hastings and Rick Albertson and
Yeah.
all of those. And
Rick
we
couldn't hit it hard at all, could
No,
he?
he
Harry?
couldn't hit it. He'd barely touched the ball. My Lord. But anyway, we'd play over here in behind the cemetery down in that part back there. And they loved that part because, I mean, down the lines, it's like 265, 270. I mean, you barely swing and hit it out of that part.
Well, Terry, that was when they were playing with bats that didn't hit at 700 feet. So I mean,
Bomb
it
bats back in that day.
I mean,
on wooden bats.
I've got one. I think I've got one of my. I've got one of those in my garage with dents in it that he had. That's my
See?
bear beater. If I'm in the garage,
Yeah.
he comes wandering up on me. Got to beat the bear with the Easton.
But I've also said
I used to
that
walk off of James Mason's pitching glove.
they used to be
That's
people
what I would do.
that would come to the game And like I was used to 32-ounce bat. That's heavy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when we play, we use 26. You know, it's all about your bat speed and getting the bat around. But I had a guy on our team, and he's still living today, Claude Hendricks. He used a 44-ounce wooden bat. Would not use an aluminum bat for nothing. I warmed up with that thing before I went up
Here's
there.
a real man. He was a man's man.
Terry, that's funny. I brought that up the other day, Hunter, real quick before we take a break, about that very thing, about playing with guys. We talked about Tony Gwynn's and Barry Bonds' bat. Gwynn used a 31, Bonds a 32-inch bat, and Ruth was like 34 to 38 ounce or 38 ounce bat, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Gwynn's using a toothpick compared to what
That's
Ruth was using. And I was telling him I was playing 14-year-old ball or 13, 15, 16-year-old ball. I was playing with these two twins that were men at 15, okay? They were using 34-inch bats, and I'm over here. I'm with my little 31 like Tony Gwynn, and these dudes are just swinging just straight. And these are, those are those old titanium bats that weighed a ton. They just swinging just straight, just weight. And I'd pick two of theirs up if the weight bat wasn't there, and just use theirs to swing up and warm up with. Exactly what you're saying. It's crazy how big of
It's funny
a bat. These are 14-year-olds with swinging bigger bats than Bonds.
Yeah, when you walk out there, they got the little old ring you put on your bat to weigh it a little bit more. I said, just give me Claude's bat. That's plenty.
Give me Claude's bat. Terry, whatever story you told with Claude's bat, it would have been a good one, I would imagine. All right, JP, are you there? Do I see a thumbs up or anything in there? Is he even in there? All right, JP, I'll get your camera going here in just a minute, but I do got your camera. It took me forever. I think I got mine there, Hunter, so we're working with that. Everybody, you can watch live if you're listening on the radio on Facebook Live. There's Tom and myself and Terry and Hunter and getting ready for the rest of the show today. We did not put on the docket, I promise you folks, Terry's softball stories.
There's some good ones back in my days.
There's some good ones back
I
in
think
Terry's
softball
days.
stories are bad. Just get a few umpires together and start listening to umpire stories.
Yeah.
Like in the parking lot, especially like if you're at a scrimmage and there's like 6 or 7 umpires out there because, everybody's out there getting their scrimmage hours in. And then everybody has to one up the other guys, and it turns out like a Yeti came onto the field, but I stabbed him with my indicator. And
Hey, that may happen in Cleveland County in the next few years, Tom. Be very, very careful. If our good friend Gene is watching.
I tell you, the umpire stories, they get a little more embellished every year, don't they, Terry?
Every year.
All right, before we go, as far as those Yeti, our suggestion to Gene was, with the Astros cheating scandal is, before every game, even in between innings, while the other team's pitcher warms up, have the Yeti somewhere in the stadium banging on a trash can. So you got the other team's pitcher up there, and he just bang, 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 bang. All of a sudden, there's a blue damn Yeti in right field banging on a trash can. Second inning, come up, pitcher's warming up again. Even in pitching changes, the whole time, just have the Yeti just bang.
Why is it a blue Yeti?
Well, Tom, if it was white or you don't want to camouflage, you got to see him.
Yeah,
That's the only thing I can say.
but Yetis are brown.
What? Whoa, really? Do you know that?
No, just
Wait a minute, Tom. Do you have breaking news that you need to tell us?
Just throwing it out there.
Do you have one captured in your backyard?
I've never seen blue hair on.
Hunter said that too. He said, "Aren't Yetis white?" I'm like, "How do y'all know what color Yetis are?"
They're definitely not blue. I'm just throwing it out there.
Okay, that's your theory. We'll put that.
Just throwing it out.
Tom's theory of Yetis aren't blue.
Yetis aren't blue. I mean, I don't know what color they are because I've not seen one, but I don't think they're blue. Just
what about the aquatic Yetis, Tom? You didn't think about that one. All right, JP, we'll be back in just a few minutes. We'll go on ktcbroadcasting.com.
Tee it up in the shadows of beautiful Crowder's Mountain at Crowder's Mountain Golf Course. Play and ride 18 Monday through Friday for $28 and $25 after 2 p.m. On weekends and holidays, play and ride for $38 and $33 after 2 p.m. Monday is Ladies' Day. Ladies play and ride for $18, and seniors play and ride Monday through Friday for $25. For your tee time, call